Welcome to your morning yoga awakening flow. I am really excited to start the day with you. So my name is Jade and I warmly welcome you to this practice. I would say it's more of an intermediate style class, but please feel free to take it at your own pace, modify and adapt however you need to. So we don't need any equipment for this class. It is just in some comfy clothing and with a little bit of space to move around this morning. Please remember, be kind to yourself, be gentle with yourself, and just do the best that you can. So whenever you're ready, let's get started. So we're going to begin our morning yoga flow today lying down on our backs. So in your own time, making your way down onto the ground, head is going to find a comfortable position with the eye line looking up. Our knees are both bent and we're going to take our feet apart, but then just allow the knees to drop in. So the knees are touching one another, means that we don't have to hold our legs in place just yet. We then lightly place our hands onto our bellies with our elbows resting down on the mat. Ensure your shoulders and your back are comfortable. And then if you're happy to join me, let's softly close our eyes, unclench your jaw, and relax the shoulders as we fall into this morning practice together today. At first, just simply being aware of everything going on around you, noticing the space in which you are practicing, any noises you can hear, and then start to draw your awareness a little more inwards. Firstly, I invite you to notice your breathing. Maybe noticing the rise and fall of your belly underneath your hands, the path of the breath as it comes into the body and out. Starting to slow down your breath, breathing in through the nose, sending the breath down into the belly, and exhaling through the nose as you let go of the past. Breathing in today and breathing out yesterday. Starting to slow down the rhythm of the breath and also slowing down the pace of your mind. And starting to check in with your physical body. How have you been feeling? Have you woken with any niggles, any little creaks in the body? Maybe you're carrying an injury, or you've been doing some overuse, over-exercise. Maybe the body's feeling a little bit sore, in need of some love and some light this morning. Let's carefully separate the knees. And then as we do so, I'm going to invite you to hug your right knee in towards your chest. So take hold of the right knee with both hands. A little sigh out through the mouth as you imprint your back into the ground and notice the floor space beneath you. Gently bring the left knee in as well. So now we're hugging both knees in towards the chest. This will also give you a slight abdominal massage as the thighs press into the belly. Maybe you might like to flutter the eyes a little bit now. Be aware of the light around you. Slowly taking the right leg up. I'm going to grab my big toe for a hamstring stretch. Please feel free to hold the back of the thigh or the calf if that's easier for you. I am still hugging the left knee in towards the chest with the left hand. Carefully, I'm going to place the left foot back down onto the floor, still maintaining the hamstring stretch on the right leg. We're then going to take hold of the right foot for a half happy baby. So you bend your right knee, pull the right knee down towards the ground whilst keeping your left hip stable, and anchor your shoulders into the mat also, starting to delicately open up the right hip space this morning. And then slowly, we're gonna take the right leg and slide it all the way over the left. So I'm gonna cross my thighs. Imagine you're sitting at a dining room table, you completely cross the thighs. Relax your right foot also. Now let's pick up the bottom, take it to the right-hand side of the mat. Open the arms out to a T shape and allow your crossed legs to fall all the way to the left. Just let them fall. Ensure you're relaxing both feet here, opening up through the shoulders and breathing in particular into the right side of the body. So breathe into that rib cage, opening up around the respiratory system as we unravel our bodies this morning. Think of it as coming out of your winter hibernation. You're unraveling the body step by step. Let's push into the left foot as you bring the legs back to center. Realign your hips and then uncross the legs, cobbler's pose, soles of the feet together. Open your knees wide, take a lovely breath out and just let the outside edges of the feet fall into the mat. Arms are still in T shape, so now you feel this wonderful space opening through the entire front of your body. Let's carefully bring the knees back together. Hug the left knee in towards your chest first. Soft sigh out through the mouth as you press the back into the mat. Bring the right knee in also, imprinting and drawing the thighs to the belly. Hamstring stretch with the left leg. Maybe hold the big toe or possibly the thigh or the calves. Keep pulling the right thigh towards you for now. And delicately place the right foot onto the ground. Maintain that hamstring stretch. Half happy baby. I hold the left foot with my left hand, bend the knee, and gently pull the knee down towards the ground, stabilizing your right hip. Notice how that feels around the hip space this morning. Slowing down the breath if it ever starts to run away with you. And then carefully cross the left leg all the way over the right, so the thighs are together. Pick up the bottom, take it to the left-hand side of the mat, arms open to T shape, and we drop the legs to the right this time. If the floor's too far away, you can use a pillow as a prop. If you place it underneath your feet or your knees, it will just lift the floor height for you, enabling you to relax into the posture rather than struggling to reach the ground. Slowly press off the right foot to bring those legs back to center. Reset your hips. This time, unravel the legs. Hug both knees back in towards the chest. A lovely big imprint of the spine here. Now delicately lift the upper body as well. Give yourself a big squeeze, a big morning stretch. Then with a little roll, we're gonna find our way up to seated. So I'm gonna do a little roll and find my way up to seated. Whenever you're there, just cross the legs. Let's make our way, transition through onto all fours. Please take your time, move at your own pace, finding my way onto my hands and knees. Just rocking the bottom side to side as you get here. A little bit of circulation into the lower back. Then we'll transition into a cat and a cow. You inhale as you open up through chest space. Exhale as you scoop the belly up and find that lovely rounded cat stretch as the chin goes to the chest. Inhale, soften the elbows, eye line comes forwards, a lovely spinal wave here. And exhale as we round the back, chin to the chest and find that pause. Take one little breath here and then gently reset your spine. Carefully tuck the toes under in your own time. Let's float the knees up for a downward facing dog. We're going to walk our dogs here. So bending one knee, releasing that heel, and then slowly switching and changing sides. Just pedaling, bending one knee at a time, moving into the ankles. Maybe a little hip wriggle here as well. Anything goes. There's no right or wrong in your practice. You kind of make it your own. Enjoy a little flow, decompressing the spine, and an inversion here as the head goes below the heart. And then carefully, let's bend both knees. Come down, and with your toes tucked under, I'm going to shift the bottom back towards the heels. Going to walk my hands back as well. So I'm sitting onto my heels with my toes tucked under. Slowly bring the hands to the thighs. Lift up so your shoulders are over the hips. Take a little moment to let your feet catch up. This is a gorgeous foot stretch first thing in the morning. Take a breath in as you reach the arms up. Hands are coming over the shoulders. Delicately take hold of your right wrist with your left hand and gently nudge yourself, pull yourself into a side reach. So I'm carefully pulling the right arm over, breathing into the right rib cage. Coming back through to center, taking hold of the left wrist with the right hand and gently pulling that arm over, ensuring my face is looking forwards. Don't collapse into the chest here. Come back through to center. Let's open the arms wide, interlace the hands behind you, opening up through the chest as we try and extend the arms, get the thumbs away from the back, and then lift your bottom away from your heels. You can relax the toes now, let the feet soften. Shift your weight over to your left knee. Let's step the right foot forwards for a low lunge. You can do a couple of steps to allow you to align yourself, ensuring the knee is over the ankle, not in front of the toes. Lift your chest, press the hands away, and drive that left hip forwards in this low lunge. Slowly start to fold the torso down towards the right thigh. Release the hands, one hand either side of the right foot. Half split as we start to straighten the right leg, pulling the right hip back, lengthening through the spine, and trying to breathe into the back of your right leg. Lengthening, opening, slowing things down. Left hand stays on the ground, right arm's going to reach up for a little twist here this morning, reaching the right arm up, pressing, anchoring into the left hand. Keep the arm placement the same as you bend into your right knee. Think lizard pose as you walk your right foot to the edge of the mat. So my heel's going to be on the mat, toes and knees are facing the diagonal. Now the right hand's going to float down to the inside of my right thigh so I can give it a little nudge. I can open up my hip space more. I'm just trying to increase the gap between the right inner thigh and the chest. Also whilst trying to shine my left hip forwards at the same time. And carefully we'll bring the right hand down onto the ground. So we're strong in both hands now. The right leg can extend out to the side. My right foot's going on the same line as my left knee. Foot is flat on the floor. Toes are pointing in the same direction as the fingers. Take a moment to just lift your tailbone. Maybe take the eye gaze forwards. Press into the right little toe, and then chin comes down as we come back into child's pose variation, bottom towards the left heel. Slide the arms forwards. I'm still keeping my right leg out to the side, breathing into the right and the left hand side of the body equally here. Unclench the jaw, try to soften through the entire body. And then gently lift your bottom just to enable you to bring the right leg in. Find a traditional child's pose now. Breathing in through the nose and exhaling through the nose also. Now keeping the feet nice and relaxed, let's slide the hands in. So we're now sitting onto our heels again, but without that yummy toe stretch we did earlier. Take a breath, reach the arms all the way up. Take hold of your right wrist with your left hand. Here we go, up and over into that gorgeous side bend. Trying to open up through the respiratory system. Come back through to center. Take hold of your left wrist with your right hand. Up and over, breathing into the left side body. Come back through to center. Open the arms wide. Interlace the hands behind you. Try and straighten your arms if you can. Get the thumbs away from the back. And then we lift the bottom, getting the hips over the knees. Shift the weight into your right knee so we can step to low lunge on the left leg. Bending into the left. Try and lift up and out of your low lunges. Don't collapse into the hip space. Fold the body forwards and then the hands go to release, one hand either side of the left foot. Straightening the left leg as best as you can for your half split. Lengthening through the spine, pulling the left hip back, trying to point the right hip forwards. We incorporate the twist as the right hand stays down, left arm reaches up, bring out through the waist here. And then slowly keeping the arm placement, we bend into the left knee and walk the left foot out for lizard. So my left heel is on the mat, toes and knees on the diagonal. Left hand onto the inside of the left thigh as you increase the gap between the thigh and the chest. All the while trying to drive and open up around your right hip flexor. Now the left hand comes down towards the ground. Make sure you're strong in the hands first, and then take the left leg out to the side. It's going to go on the same line as your right knee. Pressing hands into the mat space as the eye gaze comes forwards, and we try and keep the left leg straight, pushing into the left little toe. Chin to the chest as we then sink back towards a child's pose variation. Bottom to the heel, right heel. Lengthen both arms forwards. Keep lengthening through the left leg, pushing that left little toe into the ground. And then softly lift your hips to allow the left leg to come in, so we find child's pose once again. Maybe this time turning the palms of the hands to face up. Thumbs turn out to the sides, and this allows our shoulders to go a little deeper. In your own time, bring those hands in towards you. Just walk them in very slowly. I'm going to then lift my bottom so I can tuck the toes under. Take the bottom back and lift the knees so I find a little toe balance. Then using the hands, I'm just going to step my feet wider so I can kind of rock my way into a yogi squat. So my heels are on the mat, toes are kind of facing onto the diagonal, just moving a little bit side to start with as the tailbone draws down towards the ground. And if it's available for you today, pausing in a little yogi squat as I anchor through my heels, lift and open through the chest, and breathe into the hip space. From here, hands are going to come to the ground. We're going to lengthen and find a wide leg forward fold. So my feet are just turning to parallel as I come into a wide leg forward fold. Softening the knees if you need to, and shifting the weight further into your toes. Now my feet are quite wide. They're on the outside edges of the mat. So I'm going to then walk my hands forwards. So I come into a wide leg downward facing dog. So my hands anchor into the mat. I engage the shoulders as I guide the chest through, and I notice that feels a little bit different as my legs are wider in this downward facing dog variation. Then little readjustments, you can step the feet into narrow now, and then explore how that down dog feels as we're in a traditional foot placement. Now I'm going to sweep the left leg up to find a three-legged downward facing dog. Left leg sweeps up this morning. Take a beautiful breath and then bend into the left knee as you bring the left foot forwards. Going to step it in between the hands so we can find a warrior two. So bend into the left knee and then reach with the right arm. Take a beautiful windmill as you come all the way up to find a warrior two. Shoulders stacked over hips, eye gaze looking down the left arm, pulling strong through the right thigh here. Now the right arm wraps across the waist, and we're going to reach our left arm towards the back of the mat, gazing over your right shoulder. Slow, steady breath here. Then we're going to take the left hand behind, right hand's going to follow. Interlace the hands again, extending the arms, same arm variation we did a moment ago on our knees. Humble, I'm going to bring my left shoulder down towards the inside of the left knee. Left shoulder's coming down. Head's dropping, arms are reaching up towards the ceiling. And then slowly, fun transition here, I'm going to lift the right heel so I turn towards a high lunge variation. And then we're going to press off the right leg and lift up for a warrior three. Right leg lifts, same arm placement here, lengthening through the spine, trying to keep the hips square. Release the hands. And step back to high lunge, hands coming one either side of the left foot, stepping back to a high lunge, drive the right heel away from you, lengthen through the spine. Adding a twist, left hand comes up towards the ceiling and right hand is staying on the ground. Take a beautiful breath, catch up, you're doing great. And then from here, another fun transition, I'm gonna go to a wild thing. So I'm gonna press off my right hand, I'm going to roll my right foot as I slide my left foot back, and then my left foot's gonna step over all of the foot's on the floor, heels lifted, left arm reaches back as I drive my hips up and open through the front of the body. Wild thing. Then carefully drop the bottom a little bit so you can push into your right hand and your right foot. Left foot comes back over as the left hand comes down, and then step to pigeon, left knee to left wrist. Right knee goes down at the back, I relax the right toes. Slide the right leg away from you. Ensure your left bottom cheek's not collapsing to the floor. And then carefully one forearm down, and then the other. Slow down the breath. Breathing in and breathing out. Unclenching the jaw and relaxing your shoulders. And very slowly lifting up onto the hands. Now we can roll onto our left bottom cheek, so the right leg can come around for a cross-legged seated posture. Make sure you're comfortable here, feel free to fidget. One hand on each knee and taking a seated cat and cow spinal wave. Inhaling as you're opening the chest, exhaling as you're curving the spine and rounding the back. So a little bit of free flow here. As you awaken the spinal column and you move with the breath. And then very slowly, I'm going to take the feet wide. Maybe use a hand in front, a hand behind. Come back into that little hip opener, froggy squat. Rocking side to side. You're obviously at the front end of your mat now, probably. And again, maybe just some continuous movement here is more beneficial for you. Or we might want to pause in our yogi squats. Maybe feeling a little bit more open as we move through this flow. Taking it at your own pace. And then going to come into a wide leg forward fold. So the feet turn parallel. Trying to open up through the hip space as we fold the body forwards. Releasing as you come into this inversion. And then I'm going to anchor into the hands and step my feet back this time for a downward facing dog. So I'm just finding my way to down dog, easing the hips up, allowing the heels to fall heavy down. Now the right leg's going to sweep up for our three-legged downward facing dog. Right leg sweeps. Try not to collapse into your shoulders. Bend the right knee as we then step the right foot through. Find a little high lunge first to stabilize you. Then for warrior two, my left heel goes down and I reach with the left arm, right arm follows, and I soften into a warrior two. Think about shoulders over hips, gazing down the right hand. Left arm wraps across my belly and the right arm reaches back, gazing over the left shoulder. Really feeling your body, moving with intention through this practice this morning. Hands come behind as we interlace them together. Try and extend before folding forwards. Right shoulder coming towards right knee. Arms are going up, head is coming down. This is that fun, challenging transition. Remember, you can smile, you can wobble. I'm going to lift the left heel as I turn, high lunge. Keeping the arm placement, I'm going to lift the left leg. Find warrior three. Great to add a little balance in the morning as well. It's really good to boost our minds and truly get our minds into our bodies. From here, going to release the arms, step back to a high lunge, one hand either side of the right foot. Trying to open up that left hip here. Leave the left hand down. Right arm comes up for a gorgeous morning twist, ringing out through the waist. And then that other little fun flow to wild thing, make you feel a little bit spicy this morning. I'm gonna push into the left hand and roll onto my left heel as I slide the right leg back. Then when I'm stable, I can take the right foot up and over, push into my left hand, left foot, lift the hips, find all of that space. The bottom will come down slightly, and then I'm gonna push into the left hand again, so I can bring the right foot back over. My right hand comes down, find a high lunge, and then push into the hands to find a pigeon. Right knee towards right wrist, left knee goes down, relax left foot. Slide the left leg away from you. Softly make your way down onto the forearms if it's there for you today. Big slow breath, breathing in and breathing out. Make sure the top of the left knee, top of the left foot is on the floor. We're not collapsing into our right bottom cheek. I want to release any negativity, any tension that you're carrying around the hip space. I'm going to start today positive. Lovely fresh start, ready to make today truly special. Let's carefully come up onto the hands. Then we can come onto the right bottom cheek to allow the left leg to come round. And once again, we find our way to a cross-legged seated posture. Hands onto the knees. Now you might want to go that traditional cat and cow again, or maybe add a little bit of circular motion in here. Get the ribs involved, the neck, the shoulders. Think of it as a free flow. Just move your body. Get all of that goodness, all of that energy moving around the body. All of that energy that you've awakened today, and now you're going to carry it with you into the rest of your day. Pause as you reset. Take a beautiful breath in, reach the arms up, feel the space around you. Bring the hands into prayer and draw them down through to center. Let's place our hands over our hearts. Take a moment to close the eyes, to unclench the jaw, and to relax the shoulders. Take a soft sigh out through the mouth. Once again, I invite you to be aware and notice everything going on around you. Maybe the light in the room has changed as the day is starting to come to life too. Or possibly the house is a little bit more lively now. There's other people moving around or pets asking for your attention. And notice the breath as we go inwards. Does it feel a little more awake? A bit more spacious? Notice the physical body. Has it come to life? Do you feel more at home in your body now, more present in your body? Slow down the breath. Allow it to steer you home. And we say to ourselves, maybe you say this in your head or out loud, it depends where you're practicing, I have everything I need right here inside of me to make today a great one. And we slowly flutter the eyes open, and I thank you so much for sharing the mat with me this morning. And I truly wish you, wherever you are, a really, really fabulous, gorgeous day. Lots of love and light. I hope to see you on the mat again very soon.